All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon, RayronVR, and today we're going to start to talk about the age of exclusives. We were talking about it on some live streams in the past. Ever since Amherst, BLI has announced this Conductors Club or VIP club where you pay $30 a year to be in this exclusive membership club. And they would offer one HO kind of exclusive engine and one N scale locomotive as well at the same time. But today we've got the news that that has been revealed. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So today, the exclusives are the Challenger and the big boy for N scale. The Broadway Limited Conductors Club HO scale locomotive is a die-cast UP Challenger with Paragon 4 sound, DCC and smoke for only $350, and the Stealth is only $250. Additionally, for the N scale, we have the big boy with Paragon 4 for only $300, and the Stealth version being on $200. All locomotives must be pre-ordered by May 30th, 2024. You will be charged $100 plus shipping now and will be invoiced the balance of the sales tax prior to shipping. Shipping is scheduled for December 2024. 2024 Paragon 4 equipped club locomotives will include a free Rolling Thunder receiver. Plug it into any RCA equipment power subwoofer for ground shaking low frequency sound. And here is all of the offerings. We've got the 3985 Excursion. We've got the no sound. We got the Greyhound 3977 with those elephant ears. We've got it again with the DCC ready. And then for all of those you lucky N scalers out there, we've got the 4014 Modern Excursion with the big boy text on the actual front of the boiler. And then, oh my goodness, here it is, the 4019 with the elephant ears, big boy as well. You guys know I'm a big fan of this 4019 with the elephant ears. It's just so cool. It's such a unique big boy, and I personally am biased towards it. But that's only an N scale. I thought they were going to come out in HO scale when I originally saw the report. But, oh well. So the big one here is that I'm definitely going to go after this Greyhound scheme, Union Pacific Challenger 3977. I've been wanting this type of paint scheme along with the elephant ears for a while. And for $350, now I'm going to caveat this a little bit. And when it comes to the price, that's going to be a big portion of this video because we've got a lot to talk about this price tag. I'm going to put several different hats on when I'm talking about the price to try to get all the perspectives and what this could potentially mean for the future going forward. Again, this is all theoretical. This is hints and sprinkles of personal bias as well when I talk about these prices. So again, take it with a grain of salt. I encourage the discussion down below in the comments, but let's go ahead and talk about this price. So $350 for this engine is actually, I cannot deny it is the best price I've ever seen man, it is really, really good. As a customer, I'm going to put my customer hat on here. It is by far a steal to get this. Now, it's not technically $350 because you still got to add the price of the membership, which is $30. So at this point, if you were to buy this, it'll technically be $380, which is still really, really good, not to mention that you can still get discounts in the outlet store of BLI. So in my opinion, at least in my example, the $30 was actually worth it. So again, props to BLI for that price, for making it worth it. You do have to put down $100 straight up and the shipping costs, as they've already talked about. So it makes sense. I'm going to put my manufacturer hat on, and I'm going to say that this makes sense because they need to secure their investment, especially for the DCC Stealth line. They got to meet an X amount of units to be pre-ordered in a way, so that way they can actually make it. From a business hat, it makes a lot of sense because they got to make sure that they get their return investment. Now, I'm going to put my dealership hat on, so let's pretend that we're Train World or we're Spring Creek and so forth, and I would be tremendously worried about this announcement. So I'm going to go and use a reference video here. And this goes out to Sam Trains. I will link his content in this video down below because it's actually really, really good. Because as a realtor or as a dealer, I would be 100% worried because now instead of sharing the costs between the realtor and your manufacturer and then getting that little bit discount from the full. They use RRP in Europe. We use MSRP here in the stateside. So I'm going to be using MSRP because I'm a little bit biased because I am in the United States. So what's interesting about this is that I am really curious about the production and shipping costs of what BLI is going to be potentially making. I'm curious what the profit's going to be because when it's 350 that low, that is one heck of a statement to the other manufacturers in this business. 350 is actually pretty darn good. You have to question, are they even making any money off of this product? And then me as putting my consumer hat on, how cheap is this to manufacture if they are making a profit off of this? So are you actually telling me that it's actually cheap to manufacture these things? What is that budget? And I know we'll never see it, but again, looking at this chart, how is this divided up? Again, we'll never know that answer because that's something that, companies are going to keep close to because, capitalism. And so it just makes it interesting that they really, I would thought, and in most cases, most exclusive products are actually a little bit more expensive, especially on the secondary market. But even at normal MSRP, because it's so exclusive, you would think it'd be a little bit more expensive. This is the cheapest engine I've seen in years, probably in decades. And it makes me wonder, has BLI shown their half a little bit on how much cheaper these are actually being made than what we originally expected to be? Because again, are they making any profits off of this? And that makes me wonder, do I even go to any other company? Because wait a minute, let's take a look at Athearn Genesis. Athearn has announced their pre-order lineup for these Challenger engines. And let me just go to MSRP. Again, I'm going to this diagram. Again, we're looking at that production shipping cost and we're looking at the full MSRP for this particular model. When we go back to Athearn, they're saying that their MSRP is $670 for their Challenger locomotives here. So they got the 399, NUP, Denver Rio Grande, and so forth. But let's go ahead and take a look at that retail sale of this particular Athearn. So when we go back to Train World is offering it for $570 as their sales price. So again, we see that model being played out here with the that 10% discount for the realtor profit plus a manufacturing profit and then the shipping costs. So why is there such a huge disconnect between $569 and the what we got here at $350? Again, adding the membership of technically it's $380, but still that is a huge difference. So that makes me wonder, just how much profit is Athearn, and again, I'm using Athearn as an example here because we've got some numbers that we can actually compare to. How much profit are they making? What is the true value of this locomotive coming out of the manufacturing process? So that is very interesting to see how just lowball these engines really are if you think about it on the grand scheme of things. And then we can look at the same thing for the big boys as well. They're undercut pretty darn well. 300 for the big boy and 200 for the non-sound. That is pretty darn good. So it's interesting to see because I'm in shock. Like as a customer, I'm absolutely loving it. I get a Paragon 4 locomotive that is really cheap and I can have so much fun with it. And I can save so much money. As a manufacturer, it's the greatest idea that they can do because that guarantees how much people are willing to pay for these particular locomotives, and along with the Conductors Club and all these other things, they can cut out that middleman, as this graph highlighted. Again, they can make a lot of profit. But what's interesting about it is that in Sam's Trains example, they kept the price the same. Well, it's assumed that the sell price is going to be the same. But it's clearly between the two models and the two manufacturers, there's a huge disconnect, which makes me wonder, just how is this well, that lays a lot of questions as well. Is this model going to be cheaply made compared to the Paragon 3 run? I don't think that's going to be the case, considering that they've already said it's going to be die-cast. The Paragon 4s are pretty darn good when it comes to locomotives. So I doubt that, but it just makes you wonder, is this really inflation, or what's the real cost? Are they making any benefits? Again, we can only just stipulate and theorize, and so, just take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. But as a customer, as a fan of UP, and I love the Challengers, this is such a great price, and I cannot wait to go after these. So here we are entering the age of exclusive models for model railroading. I know this has kind of been a thing over in the UK. I do have to do a shout out to, if you want to learn more about exclusive and how business side of things work, there was a good video that came out from Anthony Dodge. I'll leave a link down below, who kind of goes more into the weeds of exclusivity. I've experienced it in the Warhammer 40K world and the Pokemon trading card game world, and it's a big deal. But the thing that kind of surprised me is just how good this price is. Normally in the exclusivity world, it's a little bit more expensive because of just how exclusive it is. But this is the exact opposite, which has surprised me a lot. So I don't know. Do you guys think this is a good thing? Let me know in the comments below if you'll be ordering one of this. Are you guys a fan of the Conductors Club that BLI is doing? Could this send, again, going down that very slippery slope that once we start seeing how BLI is undercutting other manufacturers, is this going to be a trend that we're going to see? Is this probably going to be a good thing for other manufacturers doing this, because then we get to see the cost of these locomotives actually come down in price? Or, maybe this is going to be that hook and ladder type of situation where, yeah, this may be good now, but then they slowly start raising the prices of the VIP club from BLI. We see it all the time with streaming services, with like Netflix and so forth. Are we going to see that business model creep into model railroading? So I don't know. It's just a great topic to discuss as a consumer, as a manufacturer, and as a dealer as well. So let me know what you guys think down below. I know it's a lot of information to kind of digest there, but as a customer, you're definitely celebrating for how cheap these locomotives are, and only time will tell to see if this is actually going to be a good thing for the hobby and for competition. So with that, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for listening in, and I'll see you on the next video.